What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Cryptic Reasoning. I thank you guys for tuning in once again. We're 3 weeks into this. We're close to 50 subscribers. This is the fourth episode of Cryptic Reasoning, and I'm really excited about this episode. I'm excited about what is being built right now, what we're building as a community, not just me, but us. Everyone that's clicking the videos, everyone that's hitting subscribe, everyone that's liking the videos. It certainly does help the algorithm, and I really sincerely appreciate it because it does help a lot. So because you guys are helping me, I want to help you as well, right? It really encourages me to help you guys even more. And before I even get into the start of this episode, right before this episode is over, I'm going to have a session because there's a few people that I have to shout out, and I may have to do some clicking and finding of some stuff in order to shout some people out. But here we go. Look, and if I didn't shout you out this episode, because there's quite a few people that should be getting shouted out, because I had like a wager in chess, and if I lost, and I lost a few of them, that I was gonna shout these people out. But some of their names I didn't really quite write. Well, I don't have ready with me right now. But we got to get into this. So this is episode 4 once again of Cryptic Reasoning, right? And today we're gonna discuss something. We're gonna go kind of deep today, right? We're gonna go kind of deep, and we're gonna talk about some things that may or may not strike a chord with you or someone you know, or someone maybe in close proximity to you that may watch this video, and this video may encourage them or may help them, or help them not to give up on what it is that they're pursuing, whatever it is that's in this world that they were sent here to do. So I have a few things that I've written down, but the majority of what it is that I'm saying is going to be some, just coming straight from the heart. But I did jot a few things down, and let's get right into it. So I'm going to start with this question. Just because we're from the same family tree or heritage or culture as someone, does that automatically equate to someone being loving, loyal, or supportive to you? Ask yourself that question. I'm going to ask it one more time. Just because you're from the same family tree or heritage or race or culture as someone, does that automatically equate to that someone being loving, loyal, or supportive to you? Ask yourself that question. Just because you've made incredible sacrifices and helped someone in the past, does that now mean this will be the person to return a similar favor when you're desperately in need of help? Keyword, when you really, really need help. Right? So this is someone that in the past that you may have some sort of a history with, or you might have made a sacrifice for. Maybe you had the last $20 and they really needed it because they're hungry, and you might have had something in your fridge. Yeah, right? So it's like you can go ahead and eat that, but they don't have anything that they can eat. So you say, hey, you know what? All right, this is my last 20 right here. Boom. Or maybe even a bigger sacrifice than that. Right? It doesn't even have to be something monetary, right? You were just there for someone when they really needed you to be there. Like, you may have risked your life to save someone, right? You may have put yourself out on a limb at your job, or put yourself out on a limb to make sure that this person was okay. Does that now equate to that person being the person that put themselves out on a limb to you? Because you might have left that situation thinking, oh, got good credit with this person. I made sacrifices for him. And it may not have been anything that's, in the least bit something that, would put them out of their way, but they just didn't do it, right? Listen, everyone doesn't think the same. I don't want you guys getting to the point where you think everybody's on the same frequency. Everybody's vibrating the same. Everyone, you know what I mean? Everyone is not on the same frequency, right? It's a shame because we can be, but at the same time, that's just not the world that we live in, right? It's a very diverse world. different people have different minds. You have some people that simply do not have good intentions, and you have others that do. You understand what I'm saying? We're not going to get into too much into that because that's for a completely different video. But I'm going to go ahead and go on, right? So many creative people might have great ideas and visions. However, the support often required in order to see these visions through may come from people that you least expect, right? What do I mean by that? Well, the support that you might require, right? Because here you are attempting to either build an empire or attempting to accomplish something great, right? And because the people that are in close proximity to you, either they've never had anyone in close proximity to them elevate themselves to that level, or they themselves don't see how, because they might possess different talents, but they're not looking at it like that. They themselves don't see, it's like they're thinking from their brain, from their conscious mind, right? So they're thinking to themselves, I won't be able to do that. I don't see how that's possible, right? And sometimes there might not even be any ill intent, right? They just don't see the possibilities. But the vision wasn't, they weren't blessed with the vision. You're the one that was blessed with the vision. So it's your responsibility to carry and see that vision through. But everyone around you is not vibrating on the same frequency, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, you might think to yourself, man, you know, you might have a brother or something like that, right? And you might have went to your brother with this idea like, hey, man, look, I want to start a food truck. You know what I mean? The food truck, this is what we're going to serve, this, that, and the third. And it's something simple as that. He's like, man, where you going to put the food truck at, man? Man, that ain't going to work, bro. That ain't going to work. Food truck? Come on, man. Go get a job, bro. Right? Because to him, he's trying to help you. Either he doesn't want you to fall on your face, right? Or he just doesn't see how it's possible. He's not blessed with the vision. And see how simple that is? Something simple as just starting a food truck, right? It's not anything epic. It's not anything big. But he sees the world from his perspective. And in some cases, it could be a hint of jealousy there as well. Because he might not have the drive. You understand what I'm saying? But when it's all said and done, again, you were blessed with the vision. So maybe put yourself in a situation where you can go out there and, you know, not necessarily tell everybody what your idea is, right? But put yourself in maybe some groups, maybe, you know, something like do something for yourself that puts you in the vibration of other people that are either starting food trucks, you know, maybe go on YouTube, watch some videos, right? You know, find some people that have started food trucks in the past, see what the process is, see what they needed to do, right? But you have to put that foot forward, right? And once you're doing that, once you're putting the foot forward, eventually things come into play. I'm not going to say everything is going to be perfect. I'm not going to say you're not going to hit roadblocks. But if you're determined, and if you're disciplined, and if you're dedicated, and if you're consistent, the limit's beyond the sky, right? So regardless of what the people around you say, it may or may not be them to be the ones that really help you or really put you in a position to see that vision through, right? It's no sense in you giving up. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? Right? Because now you're going to fit yourself into what they think about you. Now you're living your life based on a thought that someone thinks that you should live your life, right? When in actuality, that's not how you should be living your life. But again, that's for another video. Oh, man. So many creative people may have great ideas and visions. However, the support often required in order to see these visions through may come from people you least expect, right? People tend to take for granted things and individuals that are tangible, that are easily accessible or attainable, ones that breathe the same air as they do, went to the same schools and restaurants, etc. Most of the time, they are able to peel back the layers and recognize a special gem hidden in seemingly ordinary exterior. So they underestimate you, right? Because you breathe the same air as them. You went to the same schools as they went to. You did the same things. You ate the same food, right? And these are all things that are in the physical dimension, right? Notice everything that I just named is something that's in or around the physical dimension, or something that's happening in the physical, right? When in actuality, the things that are the most powerful are intangible. You don't see energy. I mean, you see the manifestation of it. You see things. I mean, everything is energy, right? But you don't see the energy behind something, the power behind something. You understand what I'm saying? Right? If the wind were to blow, right? The air that we breathe, we don't see it. We don't see the hurricane. We see the debris. We see everything that the hurricane is moving out the way, right? But we don't see the hurricane. We don't see the things that are intangible, right? So a lot of times our senses, right, or what we pay attention to, our senses that see, touch, taste, smell, and there's another one, right? See, touch, taste, smell, and hear, right? So the things that we see, touch, taste, smell, those are the things that we give most of our energy and our attention to, right? And ignore the intangible. Like, we're all guilty of it at some point or another, right? But the things that are most powerful, you can't see them at all, right? And just keep in mind that we're all energy. Like, we're all made up of energy, right? And vibration, frequency, it's pivotal that you get your vibration right? So that you can attract the things that you really want in this life. Okay, so sometimes the people that understand you the most may come from a completely different galaxy. And that may or may not be literally a different galaxy. However, to put things into perspective, the person or people that the person or people that you vibe with may be on or from a completely different country, a completely different state, a completely different town, right? They might be from, a different classroom. They might work at a somewhere else, right? The people that you're looking for, it's not to say that it's unattainable. It's not to say that something may not happen in the future that will get you to, but there's a part that you have to play as well, to put yourself in that vibration, right? They talk about birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, and in most cases that is true, right? And the bird that doesn't want to flock with that feather, that bird that doesn't want to flock together with that feather or that group of birds will eventually get to the point where it's like, you know what? This ain't, I shouldn't be flocking with these feathers, right? If that makes sense. I should not be flocking with these feathers. So there's steps that you have to take, right? You got to get to know who you are, and you have to, as a matter of fact, it leads into this, right? So in order to obtain genuine connections, there are two main things that are required. We're just going to get into two right now, right? Yeah, there's more. However, we're going to get into the two main ones, right? To me anyway, and from my personal understanding of where I am right now in life, these are the two main things that are going to help you to vibe with your tribe, so to speak, right? Can anyone take a guess? Think to yourself what those two things are, right? Okay, so number one, you must be authentic, right? You must be authentic. You have to be yourself, right? And when I say be authentic, I don't mean in terms of the clothes that you're wearing. I don't mean in terms of, don't comb your hair. You know what I mean? These are not the things that I'm saying. When I say be authentic, I mean your likes, your dislikes. You're just being honest with yourself, right? Being honest with the other person as well. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Because there's no sense in you leading the person down falsehood. Like if that person says, hey, because that person might like, I don't know, shish kebabs, right? You might hate shish kebabs, right? But then you agree, oh yeah, I love shish kebabs because that person loves shish kebabs. And then here you are, you're both eating shish kebabs and you're having a horrible time because number one, this is something that you completely did not like. And now you're kind of off, your vibe is off because you're not enjoying yourself the way how you would have enjoyed yourself had you been like, you know what? I'm not too big of a fan of shish kebab. You can go ahead and have that. I'm going to have something else. You know what I mean? Or, I'm going to have some pineapple or whatever it is, right? So being authentic is it's key. It's a key part in attracting the people that you want to be around. It's a key part of the people that you wanting to be around liking you for who you are. And it's okay. We all don't have to like the same things in terms of, the food that we eat and this, that, and the third, right? But in terms of where we are spiritually, right? In terms of our soul, in terms of the intangibles, right? We're very much together, right? And the second thing is you must remain present. You must be immersed in this moment. You can't be thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't be thinking about your past failures. You can't be thinking about the things that happened yesterday, right? The here and now is where you need to be in order to attract your vibe, in order to attract your tribe. Yeah, in order to attract your tribe. You understand what I'm saying? So keep those things in mind, right? See, we live in a supernatural world where the things that are most powerful are around us and within us at all times, right? But you have to be synchronized. You got to be present in order to see the miracles that are happening all the time, right? Otherwise, miracles are going to happen and you're just not going to see it or experience it. I should probably use the word experience, right? Because seeing is one thing, but experiencing something is completely different than just seeing it, right? Oftentimes we find ourselves frustrated by the burden of the lack of love and support felt by the people that are in the closest proximity to our hearts. Our loved ones, the people that we call our friends, people in our community, etc., etc. This used to be a cause of concern in the past. However, we live in a world that is now more connected than any time before. So that's an opportunity for you to take advantage of, right? Yet, the closer we are at times, the further away we direct our energy. So, of course, we can match energy and emit the same frequency as our spiritual tribe. However, once we locate our tribe, we then become complacent in most cases, right? Or do we cultivate, cherish, and savor every moment together consistently, whether or not we feel like it in the moment? Look, I want to thank you guys for listening and tuning into this podcast once more, right? And as I said before, there's some people that I kind of want to shout out, that we played chess. I played chess with a few of these people, and I have a good time playing chess. It's very relaxing for me, you know what I mean? And sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. I've only been playing chess for about 2 years now, for about 2 years, right? But I can say I'm fairly decent at it. It's a good way for me to just relax and just unwind and just chill, right? And it kind of keeps me sharp too. Kind of keeps me on my toes. I really like it. So there's a few people, like I said, that I want to shout out. So we're gonna start with Iqbal from India. Iqbal, great game, great experience. Thank you, Neelp, right? Chakit Sarda. I believe is how you say that name, and Hossam from Egypt, right? There's one other person that I also want to, I think there's actually two other people, right? But we're going to start with this individual right here, right? So the next individual that I'm going to talk about, quarterback 9, right? Quarterback 9, big up yourself. That was a really good game. A great game for you, but it was a lesson for me. Not a hobby, a moving company. So evidently he is the owner of Not a Hobby, a moving company, or, and he seemed like a very stand-up guy. He had his son's baseball game practice that he had to go to, so we couldn't run it back. So, you do owe me a game, quarterback 9, of chess. But thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of Cryptic Reasoning. I really enjoy doing these. On your way out, if you just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and in the comment section below, tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you at. Tell me what your likes, what your dislikes. Talk to me. I am going to take some time today or tomorrow for the rest of the week to read the comments and comment back at you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Cryptic Reasoning. There will be more in the future. But I really enjoyed this one. Thank you. Take care.